Right now at 5, Carl Junction Mayor Mike Moss faces impeachment hearings August 26th, accused of creating a hostile work environment for female employees.
And we've got another hot day out there. Temperatures continuing to climb. We'll have a look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, local foods taste better and have more nutrients. Carl Junction schools switch from distributors to county-grown produce.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6 a.m. I'm Elise Noe and I need to clear my throat. It's 5 a.m. Sometimes you get down here and it's really cold and your throat closes up and then you can't say words properly until you have a bunch of hot coffee.
Is it really the hot coffee that helps though? Or is it, I mean,
make it worse.
I feel like, if that's the problem, it should be water, right?
Well, that's what I have right here.
Okay, well,
so
hopefully,
I'll drink that.
Hopefully that will help.
You do what you need to do.
I don't even know what it is
I
do
apologize.
sometimes. It's all right. We've all been down that road before. I have more than once. Well, it is Wednesday. It's August the 6th, and it is 5 a.m. We have established the time. Now that we've established the time, we have to also establish that it's going to start getting hot. We got the potential for dangerous heat. So that hot coffee is not going to be so great later today.
I'll stick to the water.
As opposed to maybe later this fall. But it is going to be a bit on the toasty side. Let's take a quick look at what we are keeping an eye on. We've got that potential for dangerous heat starting to build in as our heat index values and temperatures begin increasing. And these temperatures will remain hot with us into the upcoming weekend. And we're still looking at some of those rain chances as we head into the weekend. And that should help us out a little bit with these temperatures as well. Live look downtown Pittsburgh certainly looks good. They are making fast once the steel frame went up, they are making rapid progress on this building here downtown. Looking pretty good so far. MoDOT camera 20th and range line. It is zoomed in to extreme levels. But you can see it is looking good otherwise as they continue, of course, work at 15th and range line, turning that stretch actually into a road. I remember covering the news stories about that. Anybody who's ever driven in that parking lot, where's the old Walmart and the old Eastgate Theater, I mean, it's just been a free-for-all of people going through there, left, right, here, there, everywhere. So that will be solved before too much longer. As for today, though, we are looking at maybe a cloud or two. Temperatures heating up. We've got that south wind building in. We're going to remain dry through today. But do you remember those rain chances we talked about? We talked about them, what is it? It is Wednesday. So we talked about them Monday. Then they went away yesterday. Well, some of them have returned for tomorrow, and we'll talk about that here in a moment. Sitting at 72 in Joplin, 70 in Pittsburgh, so warmer than where we have been, but not too terribly warm. We're pretty close to average for most of us. Some is still a little below normal. We got some mid-upper 60s in some of our southern counties and into the northwestern part of the area. The majority of us, though, hanging out in the low 70s. So, again, right where we should be. But, boy, it's going to start to heat up. 80 by 9, 90 by noon, low to mid-90s for our highs today. South winds 5 to 10, and our heat index values easily up to 95, maybe a little bit higher than that in some cases as well. The heat continues, but we do have, at least for now, some rain chances tomorrow morning. We'll talk about that and our weekend storm chances here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. We'll see you soon. Well, in Newton County, voters yesterday rejected Proposition A, a local use tax to fund retirement and benefits for Newton County Sheriff's deputies and other county employees. The proposal would have allowed the county to collect sales tax on online purchases from out-of-state vendors at the same rate as the total local sales tax rate, but it failed by a wide margin. Residents in Neosho also said no to a second Prop A question. In addition to the county use tax, they voted on a city use tax to match the local 3% sales tax. Now, this money would have been used to boost salaries and benefits for city first responders, as well as for road and bridge improvements. And in Kansas, voters in Baxter Springs helped narrow the list for mayoral candidates. Incumbent Mayor Kelly Abbott and Casey Shaw are the top 2 voter getters and will move on to the November election. And last night, the Carl Junction City Council took the next steps in the impeachment process for Mayor Mike Moss. The council met to discuss a new date for the public impeachment hearing. KOAM Samantha Walker has the latest from the meeting.
It was a packed house at the first regularly scheduled Carl Junction City Council meeting following the continuance of the mayor's impeachment hearing. The impeachment hearing was originally scheduled for August 4th, but was continued after a request by the mayor's attorney and scheduling conflicts with people essential to the proceedings. Mayor Mike Moss is at the center of controversy after allegations of workplace harassment. These allegations come from reported comments referring to female city employees as Steve's harem, a reference to city administrator Steve Lawver. As a result, an investigation proceeded, featuring 5 city employee interviews. The investigation report says the complaints made about Moss's behaviors and comments claim he's created a hostile, uncomfortable, and potentially discriminatory workplace. Multiple employees interviewed say actions from Moss caused significant personal distress, strained relationships, and impacted their work. Some even cite physical impacts, including disrupted sleep and panic attacks. According to the report, the investigation identified many violations of city code. Now the city's council members are bringing 4 articles of impeachment against Moss. According to those articles, Moss has shown a, quote, conscious disregard for the proper order and discipline of the city of Carl Junction, its codes, and the laws of the state of Missouri as they related to the conduct of government. It goes on to say Moss is not suited to hold public office. Council members, city staff, and legal counsel have now voted to schedule the impeachment hearing for August 26th at 6 p.m. If a second day for the hearing is needed, it will continue on August 28th. While no community members used the meeting's public forum to discuss the ongoing controversy, some did raise questions during the meeting about the cost to taxpayers.
Now we've spent $9,000 and we're going to spend a lot more. I think the public needs to get an input to the city council some way or another.
Reporting in Carl Junction, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
At last night's meeting, the council also voted on an ordinance to approve a legal fee agreement with Catterley & Catterley, a Lamar law firm, for legal services for the city during the impeachment proceedings. The city will pay an hourly rate of $300 with a $2,400 retainer. And to find more voting and election information for your area, you can just scan this QR code. It'll take you to election resources on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, it's back to school season here in the 4 states, and some students in southeast Kansas and northeast Oklahoma are getting some extra help. Yesterday's back to school fair at the Route 66 Soda Fountain in Baxter Springs offered free school supplies, haircuts, health screenings, clothing, and more.
It's very rewarding. Our staff is very big into putting our lives to the side. How can we help our community and give back?
Students from pre-K to 12th grade in Riverton, Baxter Springs, Galena, and Quapaw could also enter to win a bicycle. Well, with so many young students heading back to school in the coming weeks, many proud parents will want to share pictures of their kiddos on social media. Now, just be mindful of revealing personal information. Their full name, name of their school, grade, age, and other identifiers can be used by predators and scammers. Keep the personal information to a minimum, and it will go a long way to ensuring your kids have a great and safe school year. Carl Junction schools are updating their school menu to feature locally sourced foods, connecting cafeteria meals with classroom lessons and the community. As KOAM's Atai Park shows us, this new farm to school program aims to teach students about nutrition and the food system while supporting local farms and making healthy eating fun.
Carl Junction is getting an updated menu this year, updated with local foods. Nutrition and Wellness Director Lindsay Stevenson says,
So the program's main goals are to tie in cafeteria, classroom, and community, to bring local foods into our schools, to benefit the community, to help our students learn about the food system, where their food comes from, all that goes into getting the food from the soil to their plate.
Heartland Farm to School and Early Care and Education Institute chose from a select few schools.
Only 3 schools in Missouri were selected. And then we partner with schools in Kansas and Nebraska as well. We get coaches from the state level to help us implement farm to school practices here on our campus. So it's a program borrowed from Vermont Feed, which has been going on for over 20 years. So they have a lot of best practices and standards that we can learn from and follow to implement a successful program here at Carl Junction.
Nutrition and how our food system works, but also makes eating the right foods fun.
things that are procured and eaten locally, they taste better, they look better, they have more nutrients available to us because there's less amount of time from the time that it was picked to the time that you're eating it. So I think, and I hope that they'll start to enjoy their fruits and vegetables more, and I hope they'll gain a better understanding of where the food on their shelves comes from and how it benefits their body.
The Carl Junction menu will change from food sourced from distributors to food grown and raised around the county.
The kids being more interested in their fruits and vegetables, but also I hope we gain better connections within our community and help support our community while our students are being supported by their fruits and vegetables.
In Carl Junction, Ty Parks, KOAM News.
The program will feature various fruits and vegetables as they're harvested this month. The program features watermelon. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather coming up on the KOAM Morning News. The Congressional Epstein probe intensifies subpoenas issued for the Clintons and former Justice Department officials. Plus, Lady Gaga dominates the VMA nominations. Chapel Rowan releases the subway video, and Brendan Fraser stars in Rental Family. And Chris returns with another look at your forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Time now, 5:11. We'll be right back. Well, topping Nation Watch, the controversy surrounding convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein is not going away. This morning, CBS News has new information on what his former associate, Ghislaine Maxwell, told the Justice Department during a recent 9-hour interview. The search for answers is also ramping up on Capitol Hill as a House panel has subpoenaed multiple former U.S. officials, including one former president, for testimony. CBS News' Tina Kraus has more from London.
The congressional probe into the federal case of convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein is intensifying. The Republican-led House Oversight Committee has issued subpoenas for testimony from former President Bill Clinton and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, as well as from a slew of ex-Justice Department officials. Committee Chairman James Comer discussed the Clinton subpoena on Fox News.
Because it was voted on by Congress in a bipartisan manner, I think that'll have good standing in court.
In 2019, a spokesperson for the former president said Bill Clinton had taken 4 trips on Epstein's plane in 2002 and 2003, but added he didn't know about Epstein's crimes. The House committee has also subpoenaed the DOJ for more Epstein files. The panel's top Democrat on CNN.
We want to get the files themselves and ensure that we get that information out and make it transparent to the public.
Meanwhile, sources familiar with the matter tell CBS News Epstein's associate, Ghislaine Maxwell, did not implicate President Trump in Epstein's crimes during her recent meeting with Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche. Discussions are now underway over whether to make the transcript public.
I didn't talk to him about it, but I will tell you that whatever he asked would be totally appropriate.
President Trump, who has past ties to Epstein, has long denied any wrongdoing. Yesterday, he said he knew nothing of Maxwell's recent transfer to a minimum security prison in Texas as she fights her 20-year sentence on sex trafficking charges. Tina Kraus, CBS News.
President Trump so far has not ruled out a pardon for Maxwell. The House Oversight Committee wants the Justice Department to hand over its Epstein-related records by August 19th, while depositions are scheduled from this month through early fall. And still to come, CPAP machines reduce heart attack and stroke risk, but only for high-risk sleep apnea patients. Plus, mostly sunny skies and summer heat sticking around. Chris returns with another look at your forecast. Well, this year's list of MTV VMA nominees is finally out, and Brendan Fraser takes on his first starring movie role since his Oscar win. Christian Benavides has your eye on entertainment.
Lady Gaga is leading the pack, earning the most nominations for the 2025 MTV Video Music Awards. The Mayhem musician garnered 12 nods, including Artist of the Year and Best Album. Her Die With a Smile collaborator, Bruno Mars, follows with 11 nominations, while Kendrick Lamar received 10. Other big names are up for Moon Men in 2 new categories this year, Best Country and Best Pop Artist. The 2025 MTV VMA show airs live Sunday, September 7th on CBS and MTV and streaming on Paramount+. Chapel Rowan is reeling from a broken heart in the Big Apple in the newly released music video for her song, The Subway. Midwest Princess is set to perform at a string of intimate pop-up shows this fall, kicking off September 20th at Forest Hill Stadium in New York. Roan's label says $1 from every ticket sold will be donated to organizations that provide support and resources for trans youth. And a struggling actor takes on his biggest role yet in the upcoming dramedy Rental Family.
Hello, Mia. I'm your father.
I hate you.
She hates me.
It's what being a parent is.
Academy Award winner Brendan Fraser stars in the film as an expat in Tokyo who lands a gig playing a girl's father. Along the way, he begins to form genuine bonds that blur the lines between performance and reality. Rental Family hits theaters November 21st. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Miami.
All right, looks great. Let's head over now to Chris for a quick look at your forecast.
Things looking pretty good this morning. It is a bit on the mild side, but seasonably mild. Temperatures heating up, though, later today. Full look at your forecast when we come back. Time now, 5:21. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It's now 5:23 on this Wednesday morning. We're going to start with the future track because of those rain chances. And remember on Monday, we showed some rain chances. Honestly, for this morning, that's not going to happen. But then they went away. Well, now they've come back, and now the timing has changed, and they could go away again. But here's what we're looking at, and there's also some disagreement. Now, the future track we're going to show you is what we're going off of, but there are some data that suggests some of these showers might actually happen in the overnight hours, but future track here believes they're going to happen tomorrow morning. So today, it's just hot. We'll have maybe a cloud or two, otherwise sunny skies, and temperatures, as I mentioned, they are climbing across the area. Then as we go into tomorrow morning, we start to go partly cloudy overnight, and then we'll start to see some isolated shower and thunderstorm chances by about 6-7 o'clock into our northern counties. These are not going to be everywhere all at once. It will bring some cloudy skies for a good portion of us, just not rain for everybody. By 10 a.m., we got a few of them still hanging on around Pittsburgh, back toward Lamar, getting ready to roll into Joplin, Galena, Riverton, and back towards Stockton as well. And then as they sink south of I-44, they die out. So they make it here about 10, just north of I-44. By 11 to noon, they are about done. And at least in the short term, that is the only rain chances we have. Could these disappear again? They could. Could the timing on them change? Absolutely. But what we've got is we've got some rounds of severe weather up to our north. And so these showers and storms may be the lingering pieces of some of that activity trying to make it in early tomorrow morning. So we're going to have to see exactly how that pans out. All of this is contingent on whether or not anything up to our north can even survive this far south. So we'll have to see. Now, even if it does survive and plays out like what we just showed you here, we're not expecting any severe weather in our area, but we could get a couple of thunderstorms out of that activity. The other thing that we're looking at is the heat. Heat index values today, 95 up to 100 in some cases. And as we go into Thursday, as I mentioned, our air temperatures will rise. Of course, that'll push the heat index values up. We're still looking at them only being upwards of maybe 5-6 degrees above the air temperature. But when you get to highs getting close to 100, that's going to start putting heat index values again up to that 105 mark. And as we go into Friday, that still looks to be one of the hotter days as where our temperatures continue to climb into the triple digits themselves, pushing our heat index values closer to 105 to 110. And that could potentially carry into Saturday as well. Look at some of these numbers. And it's still a few days out. They could come down a bit. Hopefully they don't go up, but it could still be, again, the potential for dangerous heat. So now we're back to it. So we've got our extreme heat safety tips on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Going through the morning, clear skies out there, mid-70s by 8 and near 90 by 11 o'clock this morning as our temperatures continue to climb, mid-90s today. South winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. We'll go partly cloudy again overnight. Clouds will increase gradually late tonight. Mid-70s, so now a bit warmer than where we should be. Our winds also pick up a bit on our Thursday as well out of south, occasionally gusting to 20. Our rain chances are still in place from Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. They're still looking to be in the early parts of the day and then clearing out by the afternoon, with the exception of Sunday. Might hang on until 2 or 3 o'clock. And then Monday, we get a bit more widespread shower and thunderstorm activity. And again, at this time, it's too far out, but we don't have any severe weather risk risk areas highlighted for Monday, which is some good news as well. We don't need severe weather. We could use some rain and some slightly cooler temperatures. All right, upper 90s tomorrow, near 100 Friday, still hot on Saturday. Back to normal a little bit for Sunday and Monday, and unfortunately, it does look like we're going to turn around and heat right back up as we roll through the next work week. So it's a brief cool down, but at least it's not a 2-week-long heat wave either. That's Check Your Forecast. We're going to send it over to Elise now with Health Watch.
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, a common treatment for sleep apnea lowers heart disease risk for some people, but it can also raise the risk for others. A study by Mass General Brigham found that for sleep apnea patients with a high risk for cardiovascular events, using a CPAP machine lowers the risk of heart attack and stroke by 17%. But for low-risk sleep apnea patients, the risk usually rose 22%, though the reasons why are still unclear. In a simple way, some women can boost their heart health standing. A study by UC San Diego found that postmenopausal women experiencing obesity saw improvements in their blood pressure just by spending more time standing versus sitting. Just standing an average of 25 times over the course of a day had a noticeable improvement to blood pressure. And a mother's genetics play a bigger role in whether a child becomes overweight than the father's. A study by University College London found while both parents' genes can impact a child's potential for obesity, the mother's BMI continues to influence a child's weight even beyond genetic inheritance. Researchers say a mother's genes could play a larger role in the environment a child grows up in, which also influences weight. That's a look at Health Watch. We'll be right back. Right now at 5:30, Miami residents turn out in droves for National Night Out, meeting police, firefighters, and first responders at the city's splash pad.
And we are looking at a hot day across the area as our temperatures and heat index values begin to climb. We'll have a look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, Coffeyville food pantries give out 60 grocery sacks in 3 months, but they need milk, eggs, and basic ingredients.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:31. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. Excuse me. Now it's my turn to apparently get through all of this. Well, it's Wednesday. It's August the 6th, and it's going to start to heat up again across the area. So we're going to get to that potential for dangerous heat as well. I know we're not looking forward to it, but it is still August, and we've got a little ways to go before summer is officially over in the 4 states.
So true.
We're going to get reminded of that over the next few days, whether we like it or not. So here is a look at what we are tracking over the next couple of days as well. We've got, again, that potential for dangerous heat as the heat index values and our temperatures continue to climb. It will remain hot into the upcoming weekend, but we also still have those rain chances as we roll into the weekend as well, which will help us out a little with this heat, at least briefly. Live look downtown Pittsburgh looking fantastic this morning. MoDOT camera 20th and range lights looking back to the north. They've really got it zoomed in. There must have been something going on that I slept through yesterday because they usually zoom it in if there's something they're really looking at there. So that's why it looks the way it does. But otherwise, we are looking pretty good. Future track for today is looking pretty bland. It's just maybe a cloud or two, really. That's going to be about it. Most of us just sunny skies. And that's the other reminder, too, is UV index is going to be high. We're getting a lot of sunshine with this heat as well. So you got to think about just going beyond staying hydrated and keeping yourself safe in the heat. You've got to keep yourself safe in the sunshine. Okay, say that 10 times fast. Otherwise, again, we're just dry and we'll have south wind 5 to 10. All right, 72 in Joplin right now, saying it's 70 in Pittsburgh. So we are warmer than where we were yesterday, but we are seasonably mild for this time of year. Our lows or our temperatures right now pretty close to average. We do have some upper 60s for some of us out there. The majority of us hanging out right about where we should be, into the low 70s. Heating up though. 80 by 9, 90 by noon, low to mid 90s for our highs today. Sunny, as I mentioned, south breeze 5 to 10. Heat index values today 95 to 100 degrees. So now's the time to start taking those heat safety precautions. We're going to have another look at your forecast. We're going to talk about maybe some showers tomorrow. They're the ones, they were there Monday, then they were gone yesterday. Well, they're back today. We'll go over that, plus our weekend rain chances here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, we'll check in with you in just a bit, Chris. Thanks. Well, Miami residents turned out at the city's splash pad in droves and enjoyed the 2025 National Night Out, where they met police, firefighters, and first responders who serve the city. Police cars, fire trucks, and ambulances were on hand for the crowd to see, as well as a food truck and summertime splash pad events for the kids.
This is a national event that's been going on for a while, and Miami's never taken part in it before. Our new police chief came in, he's trying some new stuff, and this is one of the great ideas he's brought to town.
Just getting them to be able to see that stuff and see all the cool things that we do and just have that interaction with them and see the smiles on their faces. It's community engagement, and it's showing them that we're people just like they are.
Well, kids also had the chance to hop into a driving simulator. And bus safety takes center stage last night at the All Aboard Back to School Bash at Carthage High School. Families toured a school bus, met the Carthage R9 transportation team, and learned safety tips to keep students secure on the road. Along with grabbing backpacks, families completed their registration to make sure everyone had their bus route info for a safe and confident start to the school year.
I think anytime you have more information and have experience being on a bus, especially our little preschool and kindergartners, sometimes it's their first time that they've been on a bus. So to be able to get on the bus and sit and talk to a bus driver, I think it just makes them more confident and less fearful.
Attendees also had the opportunity to enroll in free and reduced lunch programs and connect with local agencies like Bright Futures that provide support to students and families. And of course, don't forget, you can be the first to know about the day's weather with the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Get severe weather updates sent straight to your phone, free of charge. It's available in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. The KOAM Skywatch weather app. A lot of area food pantries say they need your help right now, especially in light of recent funding cuts. As KOAM's Lonnie Walton reports, all donations are welcome, but some can present their own difficulties.
We are giving out like 60 sacks of groceries at least in the last 3 months.
Terry Barrett is the president of Salvation Army Community Volunteers in Coffeyville. She says she's thankful for each donation that comes through.
We fill sacks of groceries like we try and make meals like with meat and spaghettis and stuff like that.
While Barrett is making these snacks for groceries, some customers have difficulty eating the products, mainly because they contain mixed ingredients.
People a lot of times they don't have milk, so we have to look for stuff that you just use water.
The milk and the eggs are the two things that go, that's in and out.
Linda Frawley is the executive director of Genesis Food Pantry. She says mixed ingredients are vital.
We can give you cereal, but if you don't have milk, it's going to be a little dry.
Spices, salt and pepper, we never get stuff like that.
And not only that, what the product is brought in is also important.
Glass containers are not a good thing to donate to pantries in. Because if you drop them down and stuff, things get broken so much, and then the people have them in sacks. Like our people come in and they just get the sack of groceries and they have to carry it home. And a lot of times they're walking and they're elderly.
And the experts say if you ever have questions on what that pantry's needs are, the best thing to do is just call and ask. Reporting in Coffeyville, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
There are plenty of food pantries around the 4 states that welcome donations year-round. Now let's look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. An FBI seized Russian yacht goes up for auction. Bidders need a $10 million deposit to participate. We'll take a look. Plus, ESPN and NFL Network are merging. Disney acquires the NFL Network and Red Zone in exchange for a 10% ESPN stake. We'll have the latest. Time now, 5:38. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. In Consumer Watch, the U.S. government is set to auction off a super yacht worth more than $300 million. The massive ship includes multiple elevators and can host up to 16 guests. The FBI seized the Amadea back in 2022 from Fiji after it was linked to a sanctioned Russian oil billionaire. Attorneys claim another non-sanctioned Russian oil executive owns the massive yacht, and they are calling the sale improper and premature. According to the auction's website, bidders must put down a $10 million deposit in order to participate. 2 major sports networks, ESPN and the NFL Network, are merging. The National Football League says Disney-owned ESPN is set to acquire the NFL Network and other assets, including Red Zone and NFL Fantasy, now in exchange for a 10% stake in ESPN. In a second non-binding deal, the NFL will license some content and intellectual property to ESPN. Disney CEO said in a statement that the deal, quote, paves the way for the world's leading sports media brand and America's most popular sport to deliver an even more compelling experience. And if you've ever wondered what breast milk tastes like, here's your chance. Parent band Frida has released a breast milk flavored ice cream available for shipping through the company's website. The ice cream does not contain actual breast milk, but according to the company, it has a sweet and salty taste with hints of honey. The August release coincides with National Breastfeeding Awareness Month. That's a look at Consumer Watch. Here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
I'm sure. Why? Why? Oh, gosh. I mean, it's going to be a hot day. Maybe you can find that at your local grocery store. We'll have more about the heat and your rain chances when we come back. It's 5:43.
Well, more states are making changes to what people can buy with government food assistance. We have the details in today's Ag Day Minute.
I'm Clinton Griffiths with today's Ag Day Minute. Secretary of Ag Brooke Rollins signing 6 new food choice state waivers this week. Now, she signed them during the Great American Farmers Market taking place in Washington, D.C. She was joined by Secretary of Health and Human Services Robert F. Kennedy Jr. The signed waivers will amend the supplemental nutrition assistance programs in West Virginia, Florida, Colorado, Louisiana, Oklahoma, and Texas, removing soda and candy products from SNAP purchases. The changes will kick in for these latest states next year. The Florida Department of Health is reporting 21 cases of E. coli infections linked to drinking raw milk in the state. Those impacted include 6 children under the age of 10. The state health department reported 7 hospitalizations linked to the consumption of raw milk containing disease-causing bacteria from a farm in northeast central Florida. And check this out. A couple got married in a chicken tender dip themed wedding in Las Vegas. Nick Phillips and Heather Shoring of Brooklyn, New York were the lucky winners of a contest thrown by Hellmann's. It was in celebration of the company's new line of chicken tender dips. Now, the wedding included a ceremony at the Viva Las Vegas Chapel that was led by Hellmann's mascot, Manny Mayo. And then there was the reception, which included chicken tender towers. For more Ag News, watch Ag Day weekdays on the station or get updates over at agweb.com.
And now here's Chris with a full look at your forecast.
I don't know what's happening this morning. Is that mayonnaise man like really licensed to, unite people in marriage? I mean, I guess not. Look, we've had some interesting news this morning, and I don't have very interesting weather, unfortunately, but we do have some rain chances. The ones that were there, they showed up on Future Track Monday. They were on Future Track. We had some even this morning. Now, they're not here this morning, but now they're tomorrow morning. Could they disappear again as suddenly as they reappeared? They certainly could. But at least right now, here's what we're looking at. We're hot, dry today, maybe a passing cloud or two. We'll start to go partly cloudy overnight around 6, 7 o'clock. Future Track is suggesting some isolated storms starting to work into the area. So I'm going to break down why these are here, why they're showing up now, and why they may not happen even though they're showing up. So we've got severe weather over the next few days, actually, up to our north. Not for us, but well to our north. This is the remnants of some of the thunderstorm activity that's expected tonight off to our north. It could reach our area tomorrow morning. Some data says it might reach us early tomorrow morning, like 2, 3 o'clock. It will not be severe when it gets here. That's the expectation. If it even survives here, it would not be severe. Future Track at this point does believe it's going to get here a little later in the morning, again 6, 7 o'clock. It will be isolated shower and storm activity. Most of us will be dry. And by 10, it's just north of I-44. And then as it sinks further south, it dies out and is gone. But there's also that chance that this doesn't survive. This is, again, it's going to be remnant activity from severe weather to our north that may or may not even make it down here, but we'll keep an eye on it. Again, not expecting it to be severe when it gets here, but we just have to wait and see if it'll actually survive the night into our region tomorrow. For our heat index values today, as our temperatures again continue to climb, obviously the heat index values will climb with that. They're still only looking to be 5 or 6 degrees above the air temperature, but our air temperature is going to really climb too. So today we're looking at 95 to 100 degree heat index values. By tomorrow, there's a lot more of us up to 105 out there, maybe a little bit higher as our temperatures continue to rise. And by Friday, Friday and Saturday, we're really looking at, the battery I think died. Well, we're really looking at it getting really hot out there, and our heat index values will continue to climb as well, which I'll show you as soon as I get a replacement remote. There we go. Yeah, the batteries died in that one. Thankfully, we've got like 6 of these just laying around. So by Friday, heat index values, you can see some of them. Now, this is a new update. It's dropped them off a bit, and I'm kind of curious. There's been some hints that maybe we get some shower activity or some thunderstorm activity late Friday. And that's what it's starting to look like as a possibility, because the heat index value chart here is starting to reflect that. So again, we'll wait and see how that pans out when we go back into Saturday, and still back up 105, 110 degree heat index value. So a reminder, now we're back to extreme heat. We've got our heat safety tips on our website, koamnewsnow.com/forecast. All right, today, clear skies out there, 75 to start, near 90 by 11 o'clock this morning as temperatures climb into the mid 90s for our highs. South winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Again, we'll be clear through the evening. It won't be until overnight that we start to go partly cloudy. Look at that 10 o'clock temperature, 81, mid 70s tonight. South winds still 5 to 10. And okay, you just saw, I didn't have it stopped on Friday because there wasn't rain, but I'll go back to that. Friday, it was showing some shower and thunderstorm activity. We'll see again how that pans out. This is a new update, but the heat index value graphic was reflecting the rain, and Future Track now, the long range one here, was reflecting rain for Friday. So maybe we'll get some shower and thunderstorm activity Friday and help us out at least a little bit. Otherwise, our weekend shower and thunderstorm chances, they're still isolated to widely scattered, but they are at least still there, which is better than them not being there, because they will help with our temperatures regardless. By Monday, additional showers and storms still too far out. No areas highlighted for severe weather at this time. If that changes, we'll let you know, but we'll get some scattered showers and storms as we head into Monday as well, which again will help bring our temperatures back down, but not before we get hot. Upper 90s tomorrow, about the triple digits by Friday. Same for us on Saturday. Back to about normal Sunday and Monday, and as we head into the second part of next week, we will continue to see temperatures unfortunately climb once again across the area back into the upper 90s. That's checking your forecast. We're going to send it over to Elise now with sports.
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, the Pittsburgh and Webb City 12 and under All-Stars proudly represented Kansas and Missouri in the Little League Midwest Region Tournament over the weekend. But there's another 12U squad in our area that is World Series bound. The Frontenac All-Stars are gearing up for the Cal Ripken World Series in Branson after winning the Midwest Plains Region Championship. The big stage is nothing new for this star-studded squad, as this Frontenac group has prior World Series experience. And despite being from a small town, the All-Stars are ready to shock the world under the bright lights.
This group qualified for the World Series 2 years ago as 10-year-olds in Crown Point, Indiana. And so for 2 years, this has been our goal, to get to Branson and compete in the 12-year-old World Series. You know, it's a great experience for a small town like ours to send a team there. The boys, they believe that they can compete, and that's all we ask. We're going to play really hard and go out and represent our town community really well.
We practice hard. We've been practicing for about 2 months, 2 hours and 30 minutes, around 3 hours every day. No breaks. So even though we're a small town, I feel like we could really be some competition for some of the teams.
Well, Frontenac is relying on their past experience a couple of years ago to prepare them for the competition they'll face. The All-Stars' focus entering the tournament is to take it one matchup at a time with the goal of winning one game. That's a look at sports. We'll be right back. Well, firefighters out west are working to get the upper hand on dozens of wildfires burning out of control. The Gifford Fire continues to burn a path of destruction through Southern California, including many ranches. Since erupting Friday, the fire has scorched more than 66,000 acres across Santa Barbara and San Luis Obispo counties, as at least 3 people have been hurt and multiple areas evacuated. Well, attendees gathered at Hiroshima's Memorial Park early this morning to mark 80 years since the U.S. dropped the atomic bomb on the city. Survivors, many now in their late 80s and 90s, used the moment to reflect and to express concern about growing global support for nuclear weapons as a deterrent. Well, 94-year-old Minoru Suzuki knelt in front of the Cenotaph Arch and offered a prayer. He said in 10 years and 20 years, there will be no one left to pass on this sad and painful experience. That's why I want to share as much as I can. Also attending was 47-year-old Kazuki Azuma, who brought his 6-year-old daughter. He has no family ties to the bombing, but believes it's important to pass on the memory to future generations. Azuma said he hopes people will continue to show interest and respect, even as the number of survivors continues to decline.
And we've got another hot one out there. Temperatures continuing to climb. Mid-70s by 8, near 90 by 11 o'clock this morning. Our highs today, mid-90s. Heat index values could reach up to 100 degrees. South winds 5 to 10 and clear skies. Partly cloudy through the overnight hours. Still mild. Low 80s by 10, mid-70s overnight tonight. And as we continue, we're going to be near 100 on Thursday, into the triple digits very likely on Friday. Still near 100 Saturday. We have those rain chances tomorrow morning. We have a few more Saturday, Sunday, Monday. That'll briefly drop our temperatures before we heat up once again. Let's check your forecast. We're back with more right after this.